Hi everyone, for this activity I'm going to show you how to make a spooky sign just like this one. So what you're going to need for this activity is some glue, a pencil, some straws or some sticks to put your sign on, some black paper or a different colour to your paper plates, 2 paper plates, some white paper, a pair of scissors and then some toilet paper. So what we want to do first is we want to take one of our paper plates, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut our toilet paper into strips. So you can use as little or as much toilet paper as you like, and you can cut your strips as big or small as you'd like. Remember, your scissors will be very sharp, so ask a parent to help you when you're cutting out, just so that we don't hurt ourselves. So we're just going to keep cutting these into strips. They don't have to be as long as this if you want. You can make them short strips, or you can make them really fat strips. However you do these bits is entirely up to you. It'll just change the way that your spooky sign looks. So now I've got some strips of toilet paper. What I'm going to do is take my glue. I've got this in a bottle glue, but if you've got a glue stick, that'll work as well. And on the edge of my paper plate, I'm going to just draw a line of glue. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the end of the toilet paper onto the glue, just like this. And then we've got some dangly bits hanging down from for our sign. So next, what we want to do is take your straws or your sticks, or even if you wanted you could use a pencil. It's just something that means that you can put your sign in the ground in your garden or in the house once you've finished it. I'm going to use 2 straws today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some sellotape. I'm going to cut a piece off. I'm going to just wrap it round the middle of the straws just to hold my straws together, because we don't want them falling apart. I've used 2 straws because it just makes it that bit stronger. And then what we want to do is we just want to position our straws here. You could use the glue to hold it in place, but if you do have some sellotape, I think it's a good idea to just cut a small piece off and use it to hold down the straws, just so they don't wiggle round too much. So that's what we're going to do with our first paper plate. We're going to put that to one side and leave it to dry for a bit. And you want to take your other paper plate now, but we want to turn it over so the dome sticky out section is facing upwards. And what we need to do now is we need to make a face for our sign. So I'm going to do mine on black paper because it stands out really well on the white plate. But you can use whatever colour paper you like for this, as long as you can see it. Or if you didn't have any paper, you could just draw the face on with colouring pencils or felt tips or anything you've got around the house for drawing with. So what I've done in advance is I've drawn some shapes that I'd like to cut out. If you want, you can have them jaggedy mouths or however you want to do it. To help me, what I'm going to do is fold my piece of paper in half, and then I'm going to follow half my line. You'll see what happens. This just means that I can get a symmetrical matching mouth all the way around. So there we go. So there's my mouth. And then for my eyeball, I'm just going to cut that out like that. And I have 2 matching eyes for my sign. So again, we're going to stick these down using the glue. So just turn them over and put a nice lot of glue on there. And then really easy, just stick it down on your paper plate. Same with the eyes. They don't need too much glue. or it'll all come out on the side and you'll make a really big mess. Just enough to stick them to the plate. So there we go, that's our face done. And the last bit that we're missing before we stick our two plates together is our arms. So what I've done is in advance, I've drawn an arm design that I'd like to do. You can do them however you want. You can have matching arms or different arms. And what I've done is I've folded the piece of paper in half, which means when I cut this arm out, I'll get a set of two matching arms. So using these scissors, being really careful again to keep your fingers away from the scissors. I'm just going to cut out the arm design that I've drawn on my bit of paper. And as easy as that, I have two matching arms. So going back to our bottom paper plate where we stuck our straws and our bits of toilet paper on, what we're going to do is you just want to put, wherever you want to place your arms, you just want to put a bit of glue on the sides. What I'm going to do is stick my arms down like this. So the final step on finishing our design is we need to stick our top plate to the bottom plate. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take our glue and along the edge of the paper plate we're just going to put a nice circle of glue. Then really simply we're just going to squish the other paper plate on the top, just like that. To help your paper plates stay together, you might want to use some sellotape. So what I'd do is I'd just cut a small section off and just stick it over the edge of your plate, just to hold it together. Because obviously our glue won't dry straight away. So if you want to put your sign in the garden straight away, you'll need to have it nice and secured because we don't want it falling apart. And then we're just going to add another piece of sellotape to the other side, just to hold it together. And there we have it. Our spooky sign is ready for our garden.